Hey y'all, I'm the Hotshot Doc, and welcome back to my compliance clinic. I'm coming to you live from North Alabama. When I first got into the industry, the disorganization had me sweating like a sinner in church. I've made it my goal to fix that, so y'all come on in and get cozy, because today we're talking about one of the most failed areas in DOT audits and roadside inspections, the vehicle maintenance file. So what is the vehicle maintenance file and who does it apply to? This is one of those fun ones that applies to anybody that's driving over 10,001 pounds. So that's CDL, non-CDL, and even some just local yokels riding around. If you don't have this right, it doesn't really matter how clean your driving record is. The DOT can still shut you down. So everything we're talking about today falls under 49 CFR Part 396 in the FMCSA rules. Big title, inspection, repair, and maintenance. If your truck, trailer, or combination is over 10,001 pounds, GVWR or GCWR, you're operating in interstate commerce, these rules apply to you. Yes, even if you're non-CDL. What a vehicle maintenance file is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a record that proves you know what vehicles you operate, you inspect them, you maintain them, and you fix problems when they happen. Motor carriers must keep these for the entire time the vehicle is in service and at least 6 months after it leaves your control. So let's break this down into 4 sections. Section A, that current vehicle list. First, you need your vehicle list, or some people call it a fleet list. This includes the truck and trailer unit number, the year, make, and model, the VIN, the license plate, and the tire size. Can't forget that tire size. Now, traditionally, drivers don't carry this around with them, but owner-operators and small companies, especially the people that are out there driving their own trucks, they absolutely have to be able to produce it for the new entrance audit, compliance reviews, and sometimes even roadside inspections. The DOT will ask for a list of every active truck and trailer under your authority, including the one that you're in. So what I do for my drivers is I go ahead and give them a printed list of what they're driving and what trailer it's attached to. Sometimes you need this information to book loads. Sometimes they're looking for fraud and they want to make sure that you're legitimate. So having that list on hand in an easily accessible place like that metal safety folder in your cab, it can be a helpful thing, even though it's not technically required. I recommend keeping a one-page list in the truck that lists that truck and trailer you're currently operating. If you're an owner-operator and you need to get that fleet list, I'd recommend keeping it digitally in some kind of database. This shows legitimacy, helps with brokers that ask for this info, and can prevent fraud issues, like I said. So again, you're not going to get a ticket for not being able to produce this on the side of the road, but they'll have you running around looking outside at stickers and VIN numbers and everything else. And sometimes they just want to know that you're working with them, that you know the rules, that you're trying to be compliant, and they'll get you back on the road faster if you can hand them a high stack of papers they don't really want to spend time going through. So let's move on to Section B, the official DOT inspection. Everybody knows about this, that annual DOT inspection. Every commercial motor vehicle must be inspected at least once every 12 months under that rule. This includes your truck and your trailer, which has a separate inspection form typically. And that inspection has to meet standards in Appendix A that covers brakes, steering, tires, suspension, lights, coupling devices, and more. So there's 3 different ways you can satisfy this inspection. You can go to a state inspection program. I believe they offer them at weigh stations and DOT officer training places and things like that. You can have a qualified self-inspection if you have an inspector on staff. That's usually going to be big companies. My favorite is the third-party commercial inspection. It's the easiest option for the small motor carrier and the independent owner-operator. Go to a truck stop like Love's or Pilot or any of the other franchises out there. If you have a local chain that is certified to do these, always support local. Go over there. They offer the DOT inspection. They're usually $50 and they'll get you done as fast as they can. While you're at those truck stops, there's a couple other things I want you to grab. Here's your bonus pro tip for the day. Get weighed on a CAT scale if they have it and keep the ticket. You're getting that empty weight for your truck and trailer. This is more important for my non-CDL guys. It helps you figure out how much weight you can take for loads, and it's also a great thing to keep that scale ticket on hand so that you can prove to the officers that you are under the CDL weights, that you are non-CDL. While you're at that truck stop, you want to go ahead and get paper books for hours of service, DVIR, and BOL logs. Keep them as backups. They sell them at all these places. If your ELD ever goes out, this is a great thing to have on hand, and not every shipper, as we've come across, has BOLs, and sometimes you've got to bring that paper yourself. So go ahead and grab those while you're at that truck stop. Moving on to Section C, preventative maintenance schedule. This is the one people get tripped up on all the time. You must have a preventative maintenance schedule. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be a calendar, a checklist, some kind of software printout. It just needs to show what maintenance is done and when it's due. So they don't ask for this on the side of the road typically. If they're asking about it, the inspection has already escalated. You probably want to go ahead and get your carrier on the phone, let them know what's going on. You don't have to volunteer this schedule at a roadside inspection, but if they ask for it, you do need to be able to produce it. So I'd keep this one digital. I wouldn't keep it in the folder where you can hand it over to the officer, because they're just going to start digging around looking. Keep it digital, and if they request it, you can show it to them, and then you're compliant. Simple. In my packet, which I know I've mentioned, I've got a put together packet that has all of these forms and schedules ready to go, printed out. We have a preventative maintenance schedule. It's just a general one for any kind of truck and trailer. You want to make yours apply to whatever vehicle you're driving according to the manufacturer's instructions. Pretty easy to Google. Heck, ChatGPT will spit it out for you these days. Moving on to Section D, maintenance records. Next are the maintenance and repair records, and this is the one that they'll pull when they audit the company, and if you can't show a maintenance record, you're getting fined and possibly pulled. You have to keep records showing date of inspection or repair, what work was done, and the mileage or odometer reading if that's available, which it should be available. Yes, receipts count. Most ELDs have the ability to log this these days, and you can make a special note in your DVIR so that you've got a couple different reminders that yes, this work was done on the vehicle. Here I can prove it. Here's the receipt. Here's the date it happened. Stuff like that. If you're an owner, operator, or 1099 lease on, here's another pro tip for you. These are tax deductions. Use something like QuickBooks with receipt scanning to save yourself a headache. And then when tax time rolls around, you're able to take these deductions because you're self-employed, and taxes aren't as friendly to self-employed folks if you don't know what you're doing. Get you a good accountant if you're not on that yet. Alright guys, we're coming up on the last section here, DVIRs, or the Driver Vehicle Inspection Report. This is that inspection that you're doing before you hit the road every time. Technically speaking, post-trip DVIRs are required only when a defect is found, and since 2014, no defect DVIRs are not required for property-carrying vehicles. But, and this is important, doing pre and post every single time is honestly just safer and easier, especially since most ELDs already are going to have that automatic push for you to fill out that DVIR before you log in for your hours and hit the road. So just go ahead and do it. It's better to have the buttons clicked than to have missed something and get pulled over on the side of the road and bam, that's a fine. Drivers must review the last DVIR before driving and acknowledge any repairs were made or that there was no repairs to be made and that was unnecessary. Always keep a paper backup. Like I said earlier, you can pick up books of these at truck stops in case your ELD fails. That way you can always have some kind of proof that you've done this inspection. Retention rules. Vehicle maintenance records must be kept for 1 year while the vehicle is in service, and then for 6 months after it leaves your control. Roadside inspection reports and proof of any correction, so any kind of maintenance corrections or corrections the officer wanted you to do, must also be kept on file for this amount of time. If they give you a piece of paper, as a carrier, I have a rule in my independent contractor agreement. They have 72 hours to get that piece of paper to me. In a digital copy, that's fine. they need to hold on to the original, and eventually I need the original. But a digital copy will suffice in the meantime, because the state can come through and ask for any of these things at any time. Alright guys, this is one of the most common compliance failures because it's the least talked about, but it is one of the easiest to fix. It's basically just having these schedules pre-done and realizing when your truck needs maintenance and keeping up with the annual reviews that you have to do anyway. If your maintenance file isn't organized, the DOT is just going to assume your operation isn't either, and they're going to dig deeper. Y'all don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll keep making these videos as long as I'm aggravated with this system. And join me for my next video covering CDL, drug, alcohol, and clearinghouse requirements. Now that is going to be a handful. And don't forget, I have that handmade compliance packet with all fillable forms and checklists available on my Gumroad. I have that link available in the description and all across my page. It's not too hard to find. Y'all, this is the Hotshot Doc, and I'm signing off until next time. Roll Tide and roll on.